3 astronauts are flying behind the moon where no human being has ever gone before. Right now, mission control cannot hear them. Radio signals cannot reach the far side of the moon. For the next several minutes, the crew is completely alone, and somewhere behind that wall of rock and darkness, an engine is firing. If the burn lasts too long, the spacecraft crashes into the lunar surface. If the engine fails completely, they remain trapped in orbit around the moon until oxygen, food, and power run out. Mission control can do nothing except wait. The room is silent, every eye locked on the clock. Because in a few minutes, Apollo 8 will either emerge from behind the moon alive, or it will never return at all. In those moments, 4 minutes feels longer than the entire space race.
The exploration of space will go ahead, whether we join in it or not. And it is one of the great adventures of all time. And no nation which expects to be the leader of other nations can expect to stay behind in this race for space.
By late 1968, America is desperate for a victory. The Soviets have dominated space almost from the beginning. First satellite, first man in space, first woman in space, first spacewalk, first spacecraft to reach the moon. Every Soviet success feels like another reminder that the United States is losing the future in front of the entire world. President Kennedy promised America would land a man on the moon before the decade ended. But promises are easy. Actually reaching the moon is something else entirely. Then Apollo 1 happens. 3 astronauts die inside a burning spacecraft during a launch rehearsal. The fire spreads so fast, the crew never has a chance. NASA is shattered. The moon program nearly collapses under the weight of grief investigations and public doubt. For almost 2 years, everything slows down. Redesigns, delays, failures. And while NASA struggles to recover, intelligence reports suggest the Soviets may already be preparing a mission around the moon. If they succeed first, the United States loses the race. Inside NASA, a dangerous idea begins spreading through quiet meetings and closed offices. What if they skip the normal testing process completely and send Apollo 8 directly to the moon? The idea sounds insane. The Saturn V rocket has barely flown successfully. The lunar module is not ready. Half the systems needed for deep space have never been tested with human beings aboard. NASA barely understands what radiation beyond Earth's magnetic field might do to astronauts. No human being has ever traveled this far from Earth, and somehow they approve the mission anyway. They are out of time. The Saturn V waiting on the launch pad is not just a rocket. It is controlled violence. 363 feet tall, 6 million pounds of thrust. Frank Borman knows exactly how dangerous it is. A former Air Force test pilot, he understands how machines fail and what happens to the people inside them when they do. Jim Lovell brings experience and calm under pressure, the kind of astronaut who can steady a room just by speaking. Bill Anders is the rookie engineer obsessively studying every detail because he knows one mistake this far from Earth will kill them all. Their wives understand the risk too. None of them say it out loud. December 21st, 1968. The crew climbs aboard the Saturn V and waits. Hours pass inside the spacecraft. Then, ignition. The engines erupt beneath them with enough force to shake the entire vehicle like it is trying to tear itself apart. Slowly, the rocket begins to rise. The movement is almost unbearable at first. Heavy, violent. The astronauts are pinned into their seats while 6 million pounds of thrust drag them upward through the atmosphere. Then suddenly, they are accelerating faster and faster toward the edge of space. 12 minutes after launch, they are in orbit around Earth. For a few hours, everything appears calm. The crew checks systems, navigation, communications, fuel cells. Mission control works methodically through every procedure. But everyone understands what comes next. Soon they must fire the engine again. And once they do, there is no turning around. The trans-lunar injection burn will send them out of Earth orbit forever. Once the engine fires, Earth's gravity no longer holds them. They are committed to the moon. If something fails halfway there, they cannot simply come home. The engine fires. Apollo 8 leaves Earth orbit and begins the long journey into deep space. Jim Lovell watches Earth through the spacecraft window as it slowly shrinks behind them. Not quickly, gradually. Like a city disappearing behind you on a highway at night. Continents become shapes. Clouds become patterns. The world slowly turns into a blue sphere hanging alone in blackness. Bill Anders stares at it silently. Every person he has ever known, every city, every war, every family,